Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I have a brand new video talking about the rule adjustments featuring Subterror here for you. So yeah, I'm kind of spoiling you guys with 2 videos in 1 week since my upload schedule is fucked. So a lot of people have been asking about my opinion at my latest video, the top 10 Subterror cards, which was a meme video, except everybody responded like it was serious. No, Barrage is not good in Subterrors, why are you thinking it is? But yeah, people have been asking for my opinion, and why not make a video out of that, I thought, to just channel my thoughts about this, and especially combine it with Subterror, because that's what I'm most well known for, I guess. So, for those of you that don't know it yet, These is the Yu-Gi-Oh field right now, with the extra deck monster zone and stuff like that. And the rulings, as of now until April 2020, are that extra deck monster zones are supposed to go to the zones that the link monster points to. So if you XC summon, it has to go over there. If you make another monster, you can make it over there. And if you put a link monster there, you can summon to both sides. Well, with the adjusted rules, things get kind of altered. XYZ monsters, fusion monsters, and synchro monsters do not have to go to the zones a link monster points to, or the extra monster zone at all. So if you want to XYZ summon a Utopia, you can just make him in the extra monster zone or in the main monster zone. If you want to make Stardust Dragon, you can place him anywhere you want. So this new rule set kind of adjusts link summoning. It kind of, comes back to the fact that they maybe do not decide that all their choices were correct. The only things that are still the same is link monsters do need to be summoned to the extra deck monster zone. They do need to be summoned to something else points to, and pendulum monsters as well, because pendulum is still broken and we cannot, it's too late to fix it, so we just nerf it a little bit more. So fusions, XCs, synchros are fine, and for example, if you summon a link monster now, you can summon them over there, and the link arrows really don't matter except for effects. So, what does this mean? Well, I have some semi-objective points here that I'd like to talk about. First of all, there is going to be a glorious return of the Synchro and XE decks. Decks like Bujin, decks like pure Synchro decks, they have all been kind of nerfed. When Link first hit, a lot of decks were just dead, straight up, because there were no Link monsters they could use. Burning Abyss, for example. And while there are now, you can now play pure versions, or build versions that just don't have Link monsters yet, like Synchro decks. They can now make 3 Quasar again, and for some reason that's healthy for the game. So we have more and easier combo decks basically, because synchro monsters like Eep the World Chalice Justicar do not have to be placed in the extra monster zone, so you can link them away more easy, because I do think that link monsters will definitely still have a place in the game, and they will still be played in almost every deck, because Boral Sword is just too good. Stuff like, you've probably seen this online already, Thunder Dragon is going to be insane, because you can just make a Colossus anywhere, and then the effects of the Thunder go off, and then you can make another Colossus anywhere. So you can end with ridiculous fields of 3 Colossus and a Titan. And stuff like Salamangreat also gets a small boost, because you can never place the Mirage Stelio in extra monster zone, and if it gets ashed, you're fucked, but you can now just summon it anywhere you want and combo off from that. So more combos and easier combos for all the combo decks. So in my opinion, I'm kind of biased. More unhealthy game stuff. The easy unbreakable boards are just way easier now. You can just make anything anywhere. You do not get punished for misplacement. You get slightly less punished for bad timing or bad moves. So there's just a lot less skill involved in my opinion. Of course, skilled people can use this rule to the max, of course. I'm not saying it's not, but less good players kind of get some advantage by just making it easier, because you used to be fucked when you put a monster in the extra monster zone, and now it doesn't matter anymore, because you can just summon anything anywhere else, depending on the deck. And Pendulum still sucks. Hey, of course it's still a good deck. I just wanted to make Perform a Pop Pendulum Sorcerer Cry, a little edit there, which I thought was really funny, which I thought to point out because it's really impossible to see. Pendulum still is nerfed for some reason. It's still broken, so I get that. And the other thing is, old cards are good and new cards are bad. There are a lot of cards like Lamphorlinkus or just generic Link 2s that have been seeing play just because the decks need something to link away with. And now those cards just are unnecessary anymore. They do not have to be played because you could just summon things elsewhere. You do not need arrows anymore. So all this new stuff just gets replaced or just doesn't get played at all. People have been mentioning Junk Speeder as well, so I just thought it would be here as well because you can just synchro summon anything and anywhere. And other decks like Heroes gets a boost as well because you do not need the link arrows anymore. You can just fusion away. A lot of decks like Dolce, Noble Knight. I cannot really think what other decks have been mentioned before, but stuff like that. Those decks just get a real big boost from the deck. So, well, I do think it's good. I do not think it's overall good for the game because I do think there's more unhealthy stuff than fun stuff. Now, the question that everybody asked me, what does this mean for Guru control? Because we are not playing an extra deck, so for Guru it doesn't really matter anyway. But there's a small downside. There's no more extra monsters on lock. When you played against Solomon Great, it was a good move to Book of Moon the Mirror Stadio and the extra monster zone, and you could just win against decks like Instant Fusion Control with the, what's it called, 1000 Eyes Restrict. You could just Book of Moon it and you win, and you cannot do that anymore. So that sucks. And basically nothing else, because for Guru, nothing really changes with the extra monster rule. There are cards you can now play like Dimension Barrier, although I do think it's bad, but we'll have to wait and see. Nothing really major changes, in my opinion. But what does change in 2020, of course there are going to be ban lists. Like right now, Orcus is good, Striker is good, Draco is good, and I do think all those decks will be slain, or at least I hope so, because we do need a breath of fresh air. I've been hearing from everyone that they're just sick of the game right now and they just do not want to play anymore, and I get that, because playing against Orcus for the millionth time, it gets old real quick. And in my opinion, Sky Striker Orcus is one of the best decks the game has ever seen, and it's just so unfun and so unhealthy to play against. So we are going to get some support cards for Guru. And the only card that I could really think of is the Millenniumize Anima? I think it's called Anima. Which basically lets you link away your Venus, or if you are going to play Institution, your 1000 Eyes, and you can remove up to 2 monsters, one with the 1000 Eyes and one with Anima from the field, which helps playing through decks. And I do hope that the bandits will finally bring back the glorious Book of Moon, making our opponent's field dead by placing 2 monsters face down. I really hope that card goes back to 3. It's about time, in my opinion. And what people seem to forget as well is everyone is just talking about new rules and new cards, but like this card exists and it's going to exist at 3. It's Regeki Storm. You can activate it once per turn if you control no face-up cards. You can either destroy all attack precision monsters your opponent controls, or all spells and traps your opponent controls. And this card will come out in Ignition Assault, which is the newest box that will be released there, and this card exists. It is Heavy Storm. It is Harpy's Feather Duster, which are Heavy Duster is at 1 in the OCG, so we can maybe even expect that to go to 1. And stuff like this is just fucks up Terror. It just sucks. Like I always say that a single red reboot will not kill the deck, but this is making it incredibly difficult. If you pop your other spells that you have for defense or offense, and Hidden City is gone, and I mean, honestly, just keep this in mind, man, because this stuff is going to hurt. So, what does it all mean? In my opinion, Yu-Gi-Oh! Will become more combo, because combo decks will just be easier. Formats will always change, and new cards will always come, and that's good, and that's evolution. You shouldn't stay in one format for too long. You should evolve your game. There should be new cards, there should be new decks, there should be new combos. There shouldn't be Sky Striker for a year, which is very, all the decks started real skillful and they ended up all real cancerous, and I'm done with that. I just need the new format. So I definitely think Control still has a place, and it definitely will return someday. But Guru will also return someday. Will it still be good next year? I honestly have no idea. I just don't know. We don't know what other cards will come out. Maybe they will release like 10 Subterror monsters. Maybe they won't. Maybe the deck will be hit on the ban list. Maybe it won't. I sure hope that it does return. And the last thing I really had to say about the rules is that I personally think it's meant for casual players. It's meant to easy the game and make it better and make it more suitable to learn and not so difficult. Well, in my opinion, you only made it more difficult because you used to say monsters cannot be summoned to the extra deck from the extra deck except to the main monster zone or something it points to. And now it still says that, except you also say except fusion synchro xyz, and you just add more lines to rules, and I don't know. It doesn't simplify anything in my opinion, it only makes it worse. You bring more combo, more easy stuff to the game, and that's, in my opinion, it wasn't necessary. I personally think you should handle your problems slightly different than just rewriting the rulebook. But yeah, those are my 2 cents about the deck. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below. I'll answer all of them as I always do. And I hope I have informed you well and that I made you think a little bit, because that's the most important thing. Think for yourself. Make well-educated guesses, make well-educated choices, build your decks around these new cards and old cards, and enjoy this festive days. Enjoy Christmas. This will be my last video for the year, except for one, which I'm really excited about, which will finally be my 200 sub special, which was the 100 sub special, but you guys blew me away and you guys subscribed for 100 more people than originally planned. I have something real cool show coming up for that, and it's going to be memey, it's going to be cringy. I'm going to throw away money for it, basically, and you will see it, and I hope you will find it excited, and it will launch after New Year, because to make it, I couldn't really find any normal time to do it, because it kind of requires special stuff. It's going to sound real sketchy now, but you will see. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to me rambling about ban list and Subterror cards, and I will hope to see you in the new year. Adios.